Hi, welcome to Manly Kitchen. And this is the start of kind of an experiment. I think I mentioned in an earlier video that I'm out in California and I'm visiting with a good friend of mine and business partner, Roger Barlow, and his wife Fernanda and their two daughters. And I've been here for a few weeks already, looking like I'm going to be here for quite a while longer as we complete some projects. And so Fernanda, bless her heart, has decided that she's going to turn the kitchen over to me and have me cook several times a week. And I'm going to attempt to get video on everything that I cook. I won't be able to edit it fast enough to get everything onto the site, as I do it, but it will create a nice backlog for when I start traveling again, and I'll be able to continue putting out these episodes once or twice a week. Now, as we go through these videos while I'm at Roger and Fernanda's, you might hear some grunting and groaning in the background. That's because Fernanda is a champion breeder, multiple champion actually, of Boston Terriers and French Bulldogs, or Frenchies. Boy, they've got just a whole pack of dogs. And got a new litter in the house right now, so you might hear the babies, okay? So that kind of explains where we are in my life. Let's talk about where we are for dinner tonight. We all like seafood a lot, and so we decided tonight we'd do something with shrimp. And I wanted to do something new. I love to do shrimp with garlic and lemon juice, just very simple and really good. But I wanted to do something different with the pasta, so I'm going to do a lemon garlic cream sauce. And this is the first time I've ever done it. I'm really looking forward to it. I know it's going to be great. So y'all come along with me. Let's go have some fun in the kitchen. Now I'm working with my shrimp here, and because these were frozen already and partially processed, they were deveined for me. So I don't have to do that. And that's kind of nice, but I'd still rather have the fresh shrimp. And these are 31 to 40 counts, which was the largest that the store had. I do prefer the 21 to 30 counts, but these will do in a pinch. So as soon as I get all of these peeled, we'll move forward. All right, now that I've got my shrimp done, the next thing I'm going to do is prepare my lemons. A lot of them I'm just going to be squeezing into the pan. So I just have to cut them in half. I'm going to do quite a few of those because I've got lemons for the shrimp, and then I've got lemons for the sauce. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good for that. Now the next thing is I'm going to want to have some wedges at the table. So for that I'm going to take the label off. And I like big wedges. I don't like fooling around, so I'm going to cut these into quarters. And I want 2 lemons of that. Notice how I'm cutting the ends off. I just think it makes it present a little bit better. And there we go. Now, next thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to be super anal about it, but I am going to look and see if there's any seeds, like right there. That one's a little in there. There we go. And I'm going to get those out. Like I said, I'm not real anal about it, but I do. Ooh, is that one? Yep, sure is. Usually you can see them right off the bat, the kind that I'm looking for. And that's just that many more seeds, or that fewer seeds actually, that show up on the plate. And that's just a nice thing to do for your guests. Okay, there are those. Now the last lemon I'm going to do, I've got 1 in reserve. This one I'm going to slice very, very thin as a garnish. I just want little paper thin slices. And we'll do 3 or 4 of those per plate. But we should get more than enough out of here. Again, when I'm done, I will go through and I'll take out any seeds. And that's about enough of that. Let's see. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll do one more. Okay. And that's our lemons. Now it's time for the shrimp. And I'm going to take them all and drop them straight in there. And as quickly as possible, I'm going to flip them all to coat in that oil. And then flatten them out in the bottom of the pot as much as I possibly can. Now that I've got that going, I'm going to go ahead and get a few lemons in there. As I'm juicing my lemons in here, let me point out that I don't have a strainer to do this through, and I want to catch all of my seeds, so I'm doing it in my hand so I can catch any seeds that come out. Now, as I said, the preferred method is to do it through a strainer, but I don't have one. So I'm just going to make do. See how all the seeds came out in my hand? If you're going to do this, for gosh sakes, make sure you wash your hands first and rinse them thoroughly. Once you've got all the seeds out, then you can just go to smashing. Make sure you get all of the juice out. Keep an eye on these. You don't want to overdo them. As soon as they're all pink through, you're done. This may seem like an awful lot of lemon. It really isn't. Remember, I'm making a double batch of the sauce, and I'm doing 1.5 pounds of shrimp. Looking pretty good. I think I need just another minute. Okay. About ready to get those off into a bowl. You can see I'm using a baking dish, a loaf pan. I like to use things like this because it keeps everything grouped together, keeps it hot while I'm doing the rest of my meal. I don't have a lot more to do, but Julia, would you go get your parents? Tell them it's time to eat, please. Okay, now I'm ready to put the cream in. going to do this very slowly. There you go. Okay, and I'll keep stirring this for a minute. While that's coming up to temperature, I'm going to drain the pasta. Now there's two ways you could do this. You could do a thick sauce, put the noodles on the plate or in the bowl, and then put the sauce over top of it. Or, as I'm going to do today, I'm going to put the noodles in the sauce and actually toss them in there. And so I'm going to go ahead and let that sauce be a little thinner. Now there's a reason for that. What's going to happen is that sauce is going to soak into the noodles some. And boy, isn't that going to be good. Now you see I'm spooning the noodles out. I used a little pot strainer like that. So there's a little water still in the bottom, and I'm just making sure I drain that out. I had too many noodles in the pot to turn it all the way up. But now that I've gotten a bunch out, I'll be able to do it. I'll be right back. Alright, here's the rest of the noodles. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep turning those noodles through the sauce as it thickens. And some of that sauce is going to get right into those noodles. Oh, I can't wait to taste this. I love experiments. It's one of the things that's so much fun. And I will admit that, you know, the times that I've cooked for just myself have allowed me to do enough experimenting that I've gotten a little more confident about it. I'm not quite so afraid as I used to be to let other people try my experiments, because I spent all that time alone perfecting stuff, you know. See, as some of the moisture is getting into the noodles, the sauce is starting to thicken up a little bit, and it'll continue to do that over the next few minutes. So we'll fast forward through this, and I'll be back with you in just a second. Okay, now you can see that the sauce is pretty thick at this point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the heat off after one last flip. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes. As the temperature comes down, it's going to go through its final thickening process. So we'll be back for that. Okay, so after just a couple of minutes, you can see now that sauce is totally thick and ready to go. So let's plate up. Actually, this time I'm going to use a bowl. I'm going to start out with our pasta. is going to be Roger's bowl, so we're going to do a lot. First thing we want to do is we want to get a little bit of a Parmesan dust over the whole thing. And notice I'm hitting the sides a little bit and just kind of dress it up a touch. After that, I'm going to take just a little sprinkle of flakes. We're going to go ahead and dress the plate with our lemons, like that. And then nice generous portion of shrimp on top of that. Just a couple more flakes. And a little dusting of Parmesan. And there it is, folks. That is shrimp with lemon and garlic on a bed of penne pasta with a lemon cream sauce. Time for the best part. Let's go eat. I gotta tell you, the response to that was absolutely awesome. Roger said that he thought it was the best thing I'd put on a plate since I got here. And that makes me feel pretty awful good, seeing as how this was the first time I ever made that. And we talked about some other things we can do with it. I'll be showing you those in future updates. But anyway, wow, you know, not all that hard to make. Everything went together very quickly and very well. I was really pleased about that. So y'all try that out, see what you think, and then, you know, once you've tried it, come back, find this recipe, leave me a comment, will you? Let me know what happened. And that is shrimp with a garlic lemon cream sauce. I'm Lane, and this is Manly Kitchen. I'll see you next time around. Until then, don't forget to play with your food.